Hi friends, welcome to this tutorial. In this video we would look at the process of how you can install Xampp on your local computer, and then upon it you will see the process of setting up WordPress, and once it is done you'll be able to develop websites or create your blogs locally and then deploy it online. So we'll go through in a series of videos. So this video will explain the process of setting up Xampp for the local development environment. And to get Xampp, you need to download the package first. And if you're using Windows, you just can simply look at this term on Google and visit their website and download it. So these are the available options, and you can pick the one that you like. This would be good, or if you like PHP 7, this would be good. So I have already got it downloaded, and it's a bit previous version, but will work for us. So you just need to download and then double click to install the Xampp application on your computer. It would take you through a couple of steps that you need to follow in order to get this installed. So here is the setup screen. You just need to hit next. We are basically looking for Apache MySQL FTP server, and can skip these other options for the time being. And this is the path on your computer, and here is the Xampp which is being installed on your computer. It will take a moment, and then we'll be ready to install WordPress on it. Okay, so we are like up to 75%, close to it. It depends on your computer, the configuration, how fast is it, depending on it. It will take time. Okay, now the Xampp is installed, and it is asking, do you want to start the control panel? So let's not do it for now. We'll just hit the finish button. So the first thing that we need is Xampp is now installed, and to get a look and feel of Xampp before we get into WordPress, let me take you to the directory where we installed it. I'll go to my computer, then C, and this is the path where we installed. So here are all the files. So what you need to do is that if you're looking to develop a website locally, you need to go to this directory, htdocs, and just create a folder. Let's say we created a folder name first, and then we create a simple HTML document. Wow, I love it. Running on Windows 7, so I'll have to bear this. Alrighty. Now we have the file, and it's an HTML file which contains just one word, that is first. Now to make sure that we are like running fine with our Xampp installation, we need to go to the Xampp directory where it is installed, and you would see a couple of icons here, and this is what we are looking for, Xampp control. If you double click on it, it will bring up a screen that you can see here, and it will ask you to start the server. So for simple HTML site, this is good enough, and for database, this. So you may ask you may be asked to allow permission for certain access on network, so you just need to allow access. and after that you would see the current status, like it's running or it's running in the port. In few cases, if you're using Skype and it is on, I mean Skype is like running on a computer, you might not be able to start Apache or MySQL in certain cases, so you just need to exit Skype before you try to start Xampp. Now before we go for WordPress, let's see how we are able to execute the file that we just uploaded in this directory. So you just need to go to Xampp, then htdocs. This would be your home directory, or you can say the domain, and first is a name of site. So the path for better understanding would be something like this: localhost slash first, and then it will pick up the index.html or index.php within this directory, within this folder. So if you type localhost, you would this is the path which would be taken up, and then first would represent a directory or any other project that you're working on. So now let's start and make a directory for our WordPress, so that we can put up the WordPress files here and start installation. So I'll just enter the name as WordPress, and here it is. We don't have anything, and if we go and try to access WordPress, it won't show up because there's nothing. Now the next task is to get the WordPress files, like we did here for the Xampp. We'll have to go to wordpress.org, and then they will let you download the file for the most recent WordPress version, and we have 472 here. I'll just hit the download button. It's on way. So while it's downloading, we'll see a couple of other things. We need files to get WordPress running. We need a database, so we'll use MySQL, and a couple of other things. So the first thing we need to do is to set a path where our WordPress will be installed. So we just selected a folder named WordPress. You can make it anything if you don't like to name it as WordPress. Maybe you like to name it as WordPress, maybe project 1. So this is project 1. Now our task would be to drop the files that we just downloaded. So I will grab these files. Now these are the actual files, WP admin, content and everything. So you just need to move the files to the project directory, or whatever file folder name that you have selected for the installation. Now the files have been copied, extracted from the zip file that you just downloaded, and are moved to this directory. What we can do meanwhile is set up a database, which is the second most important thing for the site. So in order to get the database, what you need to do is you need to open up a certain URL, that is localhost slash phpMyAdmin, and you would see an interface like this. So assume that our project's name is like project 1. We just named the folder to project 1, and we need a database. So we'll just create a database to connect it to the WordPress site. So just go and create a database. Let's say project 1 DB. It should be secret when you do it. Once it is created, you just need to navigate to the database so that you can perform certain action on it. So as you can see, we have this database selected. Now we need to go to privilege. You just need to hit add user. Project 1 user would be the name, and here is the host, which would be localhost. Enter a password of your choice. So I selected project 1 user and the localhost. I set the database password, and we just need to check this. Scroll down and hit the go button. So now we have a database created and we have a user associated with as well. And now we can go back to the WordPress folder and see how is the status of the file. Okay, we have the files here, and all of the files are like ready to be used. And you just simply need to run this URL, like localhost and then project1. Just go here. Okay, now if you access this link after copying all the WordPress files, you will be given an option like this by the WordPress installer, which would ask you to select language for your installation. You can select the language. By default it's English, so we just hit next. Now it is asking that you need database details, something like name, database users, other things. And here we are. So just put in the name, project1 DB, that is the name of the database we just created. Project1 user. I set the password as demo1. The host is localhost, and this is a table prefix which will be added before the table's name. This is a standard. You can just keep it like this if you're doing it for the first time, and hit the submit button. Now if there is any error, it would show some screen which would be like, okay, you have some errors in the entries, the database details are not correct, retry. You'll have to do it. As in our case it was alright, so we are ready to install the WordPress, and just need to hit the run install button. The title would be project1. This is another username and password that you need to create, which is separate from the WordPress database that we just created. So you can just put your name. Let's say your name is John, and you can put a password, let's say John Doe. Not a hard one, it's just pretty simple. So just showing some weak error and asking you to confirm that you're using a weak password. So it depends on you. If you put a hard password I can remember, that's okay. As you're doing it the first time, I'm just putting it John Doe as the password. Now email address. This will be your email address. If you like this site to be visible on a search engine, so in our case we can just simply skip it and then hit the install WordPress button. Now there are certain tables which are created in the database that we set up here, project1 DB. As you can see, a WordPress installer just created a couple of couple of tables here, and once these tables are created, you'll be able to access the site actually, because with the setup of database the site is all set to go. So John is the username, John Doe is the password, and I'm hitting up sign in or login button. And as soon as you hit that login button, it will take you to the WordPress dashboard, or you can say the admin area. And to visit the site, you just need to go to this URL, localhost/project1. And anytime in future, if you like to navigate to the WordPress admin area, you just need to hit wp-admin, and you will be taken to the login page or to the WordPress admin area if you are not logged in already. So this was a very basic installation step for Xampp and then WordPress on your computer. What you need, if we go for a quick review, is the Xampp installed and then running. In case you have Skype, close the Skype and then try to run this again if you have some error here starting it. And then you need to go to htdocs in the Xampp directory, create a folder, download WordPress, copy the files, then go to localhost/phpMyAdmin, just hit on database, create a database, and then once the database is created, you need to go to privileges.